a body that they believe is that of the missing 16-year-old, Kiely Rodni, and her silver 2013 Honda CR-V with matching plates, missing 3.
What happened to Kiely Rodni, and how did her car get in the lake? According to an article in the New York Post, and also the dive team Adventures with Purpose, Kylie's car was found upside down in the bottom of the lake with windows down, and she was in the back seat area of the car. My question here is, with her windows being down, if she was alive when she hit the water, would she not had gotten out? Wouldn't she had, swim out a window? So she had to be either unconscious or already deceased before the car got into the water. So that would lead us to question, what did really happen to Kiely Rodni? And how did her car get in the lake?
And again, it is still a very active investigation. So again, I appreciate everyone being here, getting this information out. It is, the reason why we're here is because of the community support and the amount of work that was put into this investigation to where we could clearly identify very specific areas to search. The Adventures with Purpose folks did just a fantastic job at being able to locate the vehicle as quickly as they did, based on, again, a lot of heavy lifting that the folks behind me have done throughout the last couple of weeks. So I appreciate.
She basically just told you that based on the tips that came in, that they were given clear areas to search. That could very well mean somebody told where they thought she might be, which equates to somebody knowing more than they're telling.
I was the last person to see her and talk to her, actually. She called me at 12:36 in the morning asking if I still needed a ride home from the party, even though about 10 minutes before that I had told her, like, I'm leaving, I already have another ride, because I didn't want to drive home with her.
She didn't want to drive home with her, but she didn't mind leaving her there and not making sure she made it home safely.
I have the last call to her, and I was the last person pretty much who knows what was happening.
Smith got a ride home from the party at the end of the night. She says Rodni was planning to spend the night at the campground.
I know that she was not in the right mindset or state to drive, and if she were to have driven, she wouldn't have made it far. So my concern is that somebody may have offered to drive her home and then didn't take her home.
Last seen celebrating with her fellow seniors.
Sammy wants you to believe that Kiely planned on staying the night in this dark campground way out in the middle of nowhere by herself, right? Even though we know that she texted her mother and said that she would be on her way home in the next few minutes. I do not believe she planned to stay the night, and especially not alone. Sammy also doubled down on her friend and said that even if Kiely did decide to go home, that she was so drunk she wouldn't have made it very far. I feel like Miss Sammy is just making narratives about what could have happened to Kiely to distance herself from whatever it was that did happen to Kiely. But I'm not buying it.
Kiely texted her mom around 11:30 p.m. to say she'd be leaving the party soon. She never made it home.
The search group over here.
Sammy Smith was at the party with Kiely and is one of the search coordinators. What time did you last see her?
The last time I saw Kylie was around 12:25 in the morning of the party. I was leaving and I gave her a hug, telling her I loved her and goodbye, and for her to get home safe or be safe.
Do you think that your friend was abducted?
I think there's a definite chance of it.
Mags Larson is another of Kylie's friends who was at the party.
I need her to come home and I need us to find. Need you to be looking out for Kylie and Kylie's car
right now.
Is anybody willing to go to Reno and maybe Midtown? Yeah, perfect. So this is where everybody's hanging out. Kylie and I were meeting up right here a lot.
Local young people call this open area near the Prosser family campground the Sanctuary. It's a common place for parties.
Where that white car is where the majority of kids were standing, and between these 3 trees right here, this is where the lights were hung up.
A friend showed us the area where an estimated 200 to 300 young partiers had gathered.
There were cars all up in here and all back in there.
A lot of older people started showing up that people didn't know. Like, a lot of drugs were involved, like drugs that we don't typically have just in parties. And our parties also just aren't normally that big.
Kiely Rodni was last seen around 12:30 in the morning.
I went up to her and I said, hey, I got another ride home, because she was meant to be my ride home, but I knew she was too intoxicated to get me home. So I said, hey, I found another ride home. Like, I hope you stay safe. Like, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, I love you. Like, have fun and stuff. I think it's totally possible that somebody could have taken her and maybe offered to drive her home.
Me and the family have, so we won't rule any possibility out.
Friends discounting the possibility Kiely tried to drive home on the dark campground roads and accidentally went into the lake.
They've searched into the forest, they've searched into the water, they've searched in every single place, and there's no tire tracks or anything from what I know.
Police have issued a $50,000 reward for information. Now, police say the last known activity on Kylie's cell phone was at 12:33 a.m. That's just after her friends last talked to her.
Except for Sammy. Sammy claims to have talked to her at 12:36 a.m. Remember? I just want you to pay attention to the body language and the behavior of these girls and the looks on their faces, and look in their eyes on this next clip that I am going to play. I'm sorry, but something is off here.
Just a beautiful soul. You know, she's so sweet and so vibrant.
Now, police say hope for a happy ending.
She was just like, she's just a beautiful soul. You know, she's so sweet and so vibrant.
Why do they call the campground the Sanctuary? Don't you find that kind of odd? That sounds like something a little bit dark to me. And being quite honest with you, I get somewhat of a dark vibe from these girls and also from Jagger. And I'm sorry, I apologize if there are some of you that do not like my opinion, but it is my opinion and I do have a right to my opinion. And, well, Kiely deserves justice, and I feel like once the investigation is complete, that we're going to see that this was indeed foul play and not an accident.